Local SEO versus non-local SEO. This is in response to a question I ran across on Reddit. In your experience, what are the main differences between local SEO and non-local? For example, SEO for a restaurant versus SEO for a blog trying to profit off of affiliate links or whatever. Okay, this is something that I've got a great deal of experience with because personally, I had a local business website that got over 2,000 visitors a day at one point. I scaled that back, and then since then, a couple years ago, I actually sold the business. I still own local businesses, and I also own an authority content website. So I've got experience on both ends of the spectrum here. Okay, the same thing, or what matters the same for both of them is number one, content matters, and real user interaction matters. So having a good website, having a website that is fast, and having a website that ultimately gives people the information they are searching for, which in a local business, this can be very, very simple. The information about your business, okay? Now, on content sites can and should publish endless content to satisfy search intent. So this means, doing a bunch of keyword research, coming up with hundreds or thousands of keywords, and then publishing content to satisfy that search intent for whatever somebody wants to find when they're typing that in, all right? And this might be something like, I don't know, in the home service business, how to replace shingles on your roof, how to change an air filter for your home, okay? And you're gonna publish a bunch of information out there on a content website that's going to explain all this stuff, and then maybe you drive them to an affiliate link or something, right? Now you might be saying, well, isn't that applicable to a local SEO type of business as well? Well, yes, kind of, but that doesn't necessarily lead to revenue for that local business. So let me kind of talk about this, okay? Content publishing to satisfy search intent for a local business does not lead to revenue. Example, my local business, Gulf Coast Aluminum, was a huge resource of information, okay? So we were in the screen enclosure business, and we would publish all kinds of information on screen enclosures. What size member you need, the different types of screen, how to clean your enclosure, all of that type of informative stuff. And we were, up at the top of the search results for basically everything. You could not search for anything on the screen enclosure topic without running across my business website. We had won the game of content marketing by pretty much everybody's definition. We published information, people liked it, we were there. But this caused problems, and the number one problem is it didn't lead to revenue, right? So what did it cause? Well, because we were seen as this big free information resource online, people would call in expecting for free information. Looking for free information and how-to advice, guidance on stuff. My contractor told me this. Is he lying to me or is he telling the truth? They're putting in this material. Why is that material better than that? We get this call one time, when you're in Okeechobee County and you've got a 9-foot rise and a 28-foot span, what's the minimum thickness the post needs to be, right? All of these questions people were calling in for. And that was not good for our business because I think we ran the numbers at one point. So it would have been like 2015 or 2016. 8 out of 10 phone calls had no potential to turn into a sale for our local business. Yes, I know there's all kinds of ways that we could have shifted, pivoted, etc., made a major change to our business model and handled those and monetized them in some way, yada, yada, yada. But primarily, we were in the business of being a local home service business. We were not changing gears. That was highly profitable, is still highly profitable for the new owner that bought the business from me, etc. Right? And we could not monetize those. Couldn't make any money. So I got my sales team taking these phone calls. 8 out of 10 of them, they can't make any money. And my sales team was frustrated and pissed off about all of this stuff. And it was coming from the content to satisfy search intent, right? All the stuff that people tell you to do for SEO, answer people's questions, publish a lot of content, that stuff was not leading to any revenue for the business, okay? So let's go down to it. What works for local SEO, right? So whereas on an authority content site, you got to publish all that endless, or not publish endless content, but publish content to satisfy the search intent and to give the users what they're searching for and explain things, right? That's ultimately you're going to use to drive to your affiliate product or just capture search traffic and monetize it with display ads. That's what you're doing with a content site. That stuff doesn't really work for local SEO. I know a lot of people do it and they publish it, but if you Google how to change an air filter, and there's a company up there that's from, let's just say, Baltimore, Maryland, and they've got an article on how to change an air filter. What is that really getting them? The only thing it might get them some links, right? But in my case, it got us a few links, but we were just so overwhelmed with the call volume of people asking for how-to type of information and looking for free information and free advice that it was ultimately costing us money to be up there, right? So local businesses should focus on building their brand, actual branded search, getting people to type in their name into search. And there was an air conditioning company I know of. They would run ads on the radio that would basically say, when your air conditioning breaks down, Google blah, 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 right? Google blah, 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 blah. Google blah, blah, blah. Google our name is what they were saying. And I don't know if this was thought out on their part, but it certainly is something that I liked, and it would certainly indicate that it was thought out. Having people Google the name is going to show Google that you're a real brand, an established and trusted brand. That's going to put you up at the top of search engines. And that's not something you're going to hear about on other, local SEO type of websites or from anybody else out there publishing on it. But branded search is no doubt a factor in search rankings. Major brands, long-time established brands, the ones that get that high branded search traffic, you'll notice they go up. And even in SEMrush reports, they now incorporate branded search as a percentage, right? So focus on building the brand and sharing content related to their business, okay? So if you are a roofer in Oklahoma City, right, you cannot just create a piece of content on Oklahoma City roofing, right? I mean, there's just no good piece of content you can really create on it. All you can do is let people know that you are in Oklahoma City. I mean, you can't break down and have a full-fledged skyscraper piece that's going to inform people on all kinds of things in Oklahoma City, and it's going to be unique because it's really just the same roofing options as everywhere else, right? Maybe there's some way you can put a twist on it. If you can, that would be something to do. But being in the home service and the roofing space, I don't know any way that there can be a twist put on it, and I have not seen anybody come up with a way. So, right? So what does that company that's, a roofing company in Oklahoma City or a restaurant in Oklahoma City do? Well, publish or share content related to their business. Publish it on the blog. This is our company dog. The owners have had the dog and he comes into the office for 5 years. This is our project manager, Jim. He's a little bit, here's a brief overview of Jim's experience managing projects around Oklahoma. Let's see, what else can we come up with here? How many trucks we have on the road in Oklahoma City and how this benefits you. You can publish all that content, and it doesn't even have to be long form content. You can publish like micro blogs, which are going to be like a Facebook or Twitter post kind of thing on your blog that's just a few hundred words. And we've even done these to where you can't even click the read more. We just hide the read more, and then it's just kind of like a little feed of information, right? So share that content and share it also, syndicate it around on your Facebook, Instagram. Yeah, those are maybe the two big ones for local businesses. By and large, those platforms, a lot of people like to hype up the organic thing on those platforms, but businesses on those platforms get very, 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 very little organic reach. So I'm big on paid ads. So if you do these things and focus on building your brand and sharing the content related to your business, Google will do the rest. If you are running a content affiliate website, then that's when you need to publish, do the keyword research, and publish the content to satisfy search intent. But as you can, as I've said from my example here, doing that for a local business does not necessarily work. In April 2021, it's August 2021, so about 4 months ago, I launched a new home service business. I'll tell you, we are not doing any active SEO. It is simply publishing content about the business and syndicating it out there. Primarily, I'm driving the business with paid ads. So that's my 2 cents, my take, and my experience on local SEO versus non-local SEO. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below.